You're listening to the Homeownership podcast by Movementum Realty, real estate talk for buying, selling, and owning property.
Hey guys, Sean Patrick Maloney here, broker owner of Movementum Realty, located in Hanover, Massachusetts. Welcome to episode 20, The Importance of Technology in Real Estate. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Maloney. I'm here today with Movementum Realty's Director of Information Technology, Brian Franzen. Thanks for joining me today, Brian. How's everything going?
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for having me on. Everything's going good.
Great. It's great to have you here today. I know information technology is a growing sector in every business and super important in the real estate world. Tell me a little bit about how you became a Director of Information Technology, what type of education you have, and where you go with it.
It started with a love of playing with computers at an early age, just tinkering and stuff like that. Come to find out, it was hard to get a job without having a piece of paper. So I went to school, got a science degree in information technology. And what that means is that if it's a computer, if it's a program, if it's web, if it's cell phone, it doesn't matter what it is. I have a very good knowledge of how everything works.
Excellent. And where did you go to school, Brian?
I went to University of Phoenix. Actually, I was considered an on-campus student, though. Not online. There's a campus here in Braintree.
So one of the first questions I want to ask, and this is for the users as well as myself, just a little better understanding of what exactly is IT. I know the word thrown around all the time, but what is IT? What is information technology?
It's the computer. It's the algorithms. It's the programs. It's the websites. It's how everything runs and how everything is automated and makes life easier for everybody. Whether it be having a cell phone, carrying it around, or having a program at work that helps you get your job done a little better.
So basically, IT kind of encompasses the entire computer world. Is that correct?
Correct.
Excellent. So as a home seller, that's what we're here for, is to talk about sellers, buyers, and owners. So as a home seller, how does it benefit me to have a company that has IT within the house of the actual company?
Having an in-house IT staff at the actual brokerage. When you sell your house, we're able to get your house listed everywhere and anywhere on the internet we can. We create microsites. We get it on social media. And we target the demographics that, really are looking for that kind of house. 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, whatever, if they want to, if they're looking for 2 bathrooms or, stuff like that, locations. So we can target where we're going to have that house brought in front of the eyes of who actually really needs to see it.
So what is a microsite? You just mentioned that there.
So as a microsite is we take all the photos and all the information of your home and we create a separate landing page or a separate web page. And this is what we use to put up on social media and have it on blogs and everything. And we can track people coming to the actual site who's looking at it.
Okay, excellent. And then as a home buyer, having a company that has IT in the background, how would it benefit me on that level?
Well, on that level, what we do is we provide some services for agents and the brokerage itself, where, we have automation, we have programs that help, the client is looking for, let's say, a home in a certain area. We run programs and run software here that will target or look for and search for what the client is actually looking for and get those houses in front of that client's face.
Excellent. And several times so far you've used the word automation. For those of us who don't understand what it is, I know that we've heard the word used interchangeably in different industries, but for an aspect of this, what exactly is automation? So
automation is, it's a program or a set of software or instructions that basically maybe track or look at what's going on and keep a list of what's coming up next and what it needs to do and helps agents or clients stay on track and keep moving forward.
Ultimately, automation is something that helps everybody work with the computer and make sure everything happens that needs to happen, it sounds like. So one of the things that's constantly being talked about is blogs. And, I want to go over what is a blog and how does it actually affect my listing? So I'm like, someone's writing over here about a new kitchen and the importance of how to upgrade a kitchen or anything, but what does it actually do for my listing?
So for your listing, and we'll basically encompass this with a microsite too. Having your listing on a blog and microsite, we can put some programming in the background that helps out search engines like Google and Bing and Yahoo. When somebody types in, I'm looking for that certain kitchen or I'm looking for that certain bathroom, if the blog or site is done correctly and is tagged the way it should be, then your site is moved up in rank or moved up in the search results that are displayed on a page.
So ultimately, moving up in rank and everything, that's going to lead to a higher amount of users? Is that
it gives you a higher amount of exposure to people looking for what you're offering.
Excellent. So I know that we're here on a podcast, so I think we don't really need to define what a podcast is. But again, what type of application does this have as far as both being a buyer or a seller? How would it benefit me working with a company that maintains their own podcasts?
With a podcast, we're able to keep up with the times. As you know, things have gotten mobile, and technology is getting smaller and smaller and faster, and people are looking for information as fast as they can get it, or as we like to say, they wanted it yesterday. With a podcast, we're in with the times, and podcasts seem to be the newest thing lately, so we do podcasts now.
Excellent. And I think, again, another thing that it does, just to elaborate a little further on that, is, again, getting your listing or getting more different connections that line up with this, which ultimately, in an industry like real estate, connections and points of contact are going to be ways to get more eyeballs on the listing or get more listings for the eyeballs that we have as buyers looking for listings. So let's talk a little bit further about, as an agent working for the company, so we all choose to hire agents, buyers and sellers alike. And so as an agent working for a company with an IT background and an IT staff on hand, what does it give my agent, because I'm the buyer or seller that I've just hired, what kind of upper hand does my agent have to helping my journey?
Well, as an IT staff or an IT in-house staff, for the agent, we do a lot. We make sure that computers are running. We make sure we give them automation so that they know exactly where they are on track with their clients. We make sure that most of the stuff that they need to do for preparing for the next steps in, like saying, buying or even selling a house are given to them ahead of time, and make sure they're prepared for the next steps.
You're saying that it actually helps them keep track of their deals that they're running at the current time?
Yes, yep. And so they can be running, agents don't just work with one client. They work with multiple, but they always know exactly where they are with you because of the systems that we put in place for them.
Excellent. And then ultimately, we see all day long companies talking about we're technology-based and everything. And so often do they say we're technology-based and they reference third-party softwares and things. What's the difference working with in-house IT versus reaching out as far as levels of being able to get things done and everything?
So with all these, like third-party systems that we use or stuff that we even offer the agents, including the automation, with having in-house, if something is going wrong or something has gone wrong, instead of having to be on the phone for hours on end, the agent can get in contact with us here with the IT in-house staff, and we can resolve that problem immediately.
Excellent. So if I was somebody and I have my home for sale and I have my listing with your group, with the information technology in-house, and I decided that I needed to make some changes on my listing, how long would it take between turnaround time and giving you the information such as new photos or anything like that?
Usually if we have something like new photos or some sort of changes, we have the changes done pretty much before the phone calls ended with the agent, instead of like the agent having to call a third-party software and having to be on hold or put in a support ticket to have it done.
That's excellent. And so another thing that I wanted to ask you, there's a word, and if you can go deep on this one, because this is one that kind of being used everywhere. What is SEO? What does the acronym stand for, and what is it?
SEO is Search Engine Optimization. These are the little tricks that we use on these microsites that we talked about, or blog posts, or any website, or even the listings on our websites that we put in place to make sure that your listing is higher up in rank when somebody searches for, say, that 3-bedroom in Kingston.
Sure. So just another little brief on it is like, what exactly is it? Like, well, you told me what
so
it does.
To narrow it down to like the nitty gritty, it's basically just one word descriptions of something. So if you have a listing in Kingston that's 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, I'm going to start putting in Kingston. I'll put in Massachusetts. I'll put in 3-bedroom. I'll put in 2-bedroom, TBR. I'll even, narrow it down to, how is somebody going to type in 3-bedroom into Google? and we put all those words in the back end. And when somebody does type in one of those words, your listing is ranked a little higher so that somebody can find it easier.
Excellent. So then I see this one being used nowadays. I know a lot of people have seen different advertisements kind of following around the internet and different things, but what exactly is a pixel and how would it benefit me as a home seller?
So a pixel, actually, Facebook is the one that uses the pixel terminology, but basically everybody does use the same thing. Google actually has their own pixel. They just don't call it a pixel. But what it does is it actually tracks users that come to your site and tracks what they do on a site, not just, real estate. So if you ever notice that if you go to Amazon and you search for, the movie Men in Black, and all of a sudden you're on, let's say, Best Buy's website, and you see that little ad where it's like, oh, we have Men in Black on sale this week for $12. A pixel does that. A pixel realizes that you actually searched for something and then reports back to another company or ad agency and displays the ad of something of that item that you searched for.
Okay, so basically it's something that makes it so that I can't really get away from your advertisement online?
Usually, yes, that's the way it is.
Excellent. So that seems like as a home seller would be something that would really benefit me once people have viewed my listing once. They don't just get to leave it away from it. It actually will continue to follow them a bit.
Correct. So if you actually searched for one specific house, and I know you went to that one specific house, I then target that house back to you when you go to different sites. But also, not only just the house, I know you're looking for 3 bedrooms, so then I can target other 3 bedrooms in that same area back to you again that you might have missed.
Excellent. So the next question is UTM. I've seen this one being thrown out there. Some companies say they have a UTM code or things like this. What exactly is a UTM? Like, how does it work, and what does it do for me as a person trying to buy or sell a home?
So a UTM is it's short for the Urchin Tracking Module. To put it more simpler for everybody, if you've ever clicked on a link and looked at the actual address to where you're going, if you ever see at the very end, it's got a question mark and it's got words and it'll say like from equals here, campaign equals this. Those are UTM parameters. And what that does is it works in conjunction with your pixel or anything you're using like Google and ties those words to your browsing. So I know exactly what you clicked on to get to where you came to on my site. So those UTM parameters, usually when you click that link from another site, I can say you came from Facebook and you clicked on my ad. Now in the pixel, I know when you come to that website that you clicked on my Facebook ad.
Excellent. So then I wanted to talk to you a little bit. We've talked a little bit about the different benefits and different things going on. One of the things I think we skipped over is video. Video is so important in the world of real estate, and being an information technology director, what can you do as far as for the agents that they can then give to their clients as far as video?
So yeah, video has gotten just as big as podcasts have gotten now. Video is very strong. What we offer the agents here is we have very good cameras here. We can do videos at any location. We also offer our agents a green screen option, where the agent can be here in the office and I can overlay them or overlay a house behind them and make it look like they were there.
So that obviously would have some benefits towards a listing side. On the buyer side, it would just be more so about getting other agents to know who they are by seeing their videos. And, ultimately when we're making offers as agents, knowledge of who you are actually sometimes is the difference between getting an offer accepted and having an offer not accepted, especially when you're in a grouping of offers on a multiple offer situation and all offers are the same. We're always looking for those differentiation points. So either the seller on the other side or the other side's agent may have seen a video by you, allowing them to feel like they know you better.
Correct. Yes. We actually use that with our agents on our website also. You can see a video profile instead of having to read their profile. Great.
So just to summarize the whole podcast, it seems like ultimately information technology is becoming more and more important no matter what industry we're in, and that having in-house staff makes a difference between getting things done quickly and efficiently versus having to wait and kind of being held hostage by the need to update these items. So looking forward, what would you project? Just give us an idea of what you think the next few years in real estate look like as far as the need for information technology.
Things change year by year in any industry. Things get better, things get smarter. I think, coming down the line, you're probably going to see a lot more artificial intelligence or AI making its way into some sort of, searching, stuff like that for clients. As in the business end, obviously, we usually don't put any technology into business if it's not going to give us a return. So I think AI is going to be a pretty big thing coming up.
Thank you for joining us today. I look forward to talking with you in the future on some of these different topics and diving deeper into them. If someone was wanting to ask you any more questions about information technology or real estate, how would they get a hold of you?
They can come to our website, movementumrealty.com, or you can send me a direct email. It is brian@movementumrealty.com.
All right. Thanks for joining us today, Brian. I look forward to talking to you in the future. Thank you all for listening this week. If you have any ideas or questions that you'd like to ask for the podcast in the future, feel free to direct message me, email me, or call me. And my information is always available right there on the website, as well as right here on the podcast. Make sure to follow the podcast and subscribe, and tell your friends about it if you're enjoying the episodes. Thanks for joining us for the 20th episode of this podcast, and we look forward to talking to you next week.